30 seconds. Okay, we back for Friday. Friday, my favorite day actually, because Friday is the day we get entrepreneurs to come together to talk about shit, right? That's the fun part. It was a side project, that we had at TFC, and then it became a thing. People love it. Entrepreneurs don't really have a place to talk, right? So this is probably the last few live session. I just want to give a shout out because Lawrence Wong today just said that no extension. So yes, everybody can continue with your life. But since you're here, hang out with us, grab a drink. Entrepreneurs are gathering and we're going to talk, right? If you want to catch all our other discussions, all our other different podcasts, just head over to thefinancialcoconut.com. But today is the Entrepreneurshit segment. So once again, I have Alex together with me and a friend of ours, Ivan from Auntie Sam, right? So Auntie Sam is like this freebie amazing vending machine. If you have not seen Auntie Sam, I don't know what you're thinking, okay? It's essentially, if you're a Singaporean, you will love Auntie Sam, right? Singaporeans love free gifts. So I will leave him to share with you more about their business, like what did they do and how did they kind of come into this place. So yeah, Ivan, just kind of share with us a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Reggie, and thank you, Alex, for having me. Okay, so Auntie Sam essentially is from Elitez, and Elitez started 10 years ago. Oh, no, 11 years ago. Where
Lao liao.
Yeah, lao liao. Yeah, my boss here, he will scold me. But basically, we started 11 years ago with one very sole service, which is to provide supermarket promoters to brands to be placed in supermarkets to sell their products. So if you walk down supermarket, you see an auntie ask for giving you a sample. To me, that's a trap lah. Because after I take it, right, I'm going to have to buy it already. Right?
Yes.
It is.
Aunties are damn persuasive. Aunties are damn persuasive. Boy, you try, then you buy.
Free the try.
Free the, you try.
Yeah, but I'll come back to that later because that's one of the important factors regarding Auntie Sam also. Yeah. But anyway, within 3 years, we gotten market leadership in that segment. So how we define market leadership is that if you walk down a supermarket, you gather all the outsourced supermarket promoter. We have around 40 to 50% of them in the market. So
wow.
So in 2014, basically we made a decision. Do we want to go the marketing route or do we want to go the human resource route? Because basically a human in a supermarket is below the line marketing, and it's also a human resource factor. So we went with the latter. We went to human resource, and today we are a full suite HR provider. So we do full-time placement, we do temp staffing. Temp staffing, there are two. One is a supermarket promoter, and the other one is a more banquet and customer service related segment. Okay, we have a WSQ school where we provide retail courses.
And it all sounds like they all got hit during COVID, the first lockdown.
The first two was, but the third one, the WSQ training, was the one where FMB, all our clients have nothing to do, and so they all send for courses. I mean the grants help a lot with that. So actually that segment grew the most. During the lockdown, and that's the only thing that kept us afloat during the circuit breaker period.
And how do you guys end up in vending machine then?
So during the lockdown, promoters can't go to work. Brands no longer have the outreach that they have, and our supermarket aunties are the promoters, or rather you and me no longer have the chance to take samples. So we have been dabbling with technology for a very, very long time. Our first adventure in technology is where we created an app to manage our pool of promoters. So like for example, our usual matrix is that one operation executive will work with 50 promoters in a single day, a deployment day. Can you imagine once it's time for work to start, they will WhatsApp you like, hey, I'm here, I'm here. If they never reply you, you'll be like, oh, who haven't replied me yet? Right. So we created an app where everything is being controlled in that app. So as long as they clock in, it's geologically tracked. They know who comes, who is not. Right. So with this app, we managed to grow from previously it can be 1 OE to 20 promoter cost as the max, but now we can go up to 50. And we are doing an improvement now where we are potentially aiming 1:100, and that's large ROI. So anyway, technology is not new to us. Previously, we were dabbling in how can we have a robot promoter where they use camera to track crowd flow. They track their interest. Once they interact with them, they know whether they have a kid or not, those kind of stuff. But that was a bit futuristic. So vending machine was the next alternative where the Temasek were already giving out masks through vending machines then. Right. So we thought, wow, why not just take this machine, doll it up, become an auntie, and then give out free samples. And that's basically what we did. Within 3 months, we had the idea, we put in the visuals, we get my old clients that say, hey, your sample's expiring already, right? Give me. I give out for you. Yeah. And that's
how the name Auntie Sam came about with the vending machines.
Yeah. Sam for sample.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. But you made it sound so simple. Like you guys just do this, do that, and then it just came together. But honestly, I think at the point in time when it's a lockdown, when there is a sudden break of tempo and your whole business kind of crashed, and on some level, it must be a lot. It cannot be so easy, right? What was that kind of emotional process, and what were you guys going through? How do you come to this decision?
So my boss is a relatively young boss. I mean, he's only 35 or 36 years old. So when the first lockdown came, he instantly did a town hall and he was very honest with everyone around. He said that this is his first time going through such a pandemic. He don't know what to expect, but he gave a guarantee that no one's going to lose their job. Yeah, so that was a very first good assurance. And from there, he basically pivoted his whole sales force from doing temp staffing, from doing events into training courses. He quickly looked up with collabs with other training school, because at that time, our training school was just 3 courses, retail based. It won't be able to survive. So he looked with other partnership with other training schools. With our strong sales force, we send for people to send for courses. While I was also involved in that pivot thing, I still very hold true to the FMCG because that was my very first KPI.
Because you're auntie at heart. You just want to give samples. you like this. This is your call, right? I just want to give free gift. I just like it. It's my thing.
Yeah, and it's very nice because I was in an office where aunties come daily for training, and the moment they see you interact with them, it's very heartwarming. It's a big family there. They come down, they'll cook. You say, hey, I cook this for lunch, got extra. I cook extra, give you all eat. So it's a great time to be. So FMCG industry still holds true dearly in my heart. So when they surface just a slight idea that, hey, let's think of something to do for the FMCG segment during this period, I kind of I dropped the training segment. I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. So I jump on, and we gather a team of 5, and it's all just secondary appointments. So we have a head of finance, we have a head of manager of finance, manager of operations, manager of the IT. We all just came together and we just take on different role and propel this.
But you were the champion of this project.
Yeah, I took lead in this.
So how do you manage to convince all these people, given in such a messy situation? Okay, let's do this.
Oh, great question.
This is my profession. I ask great questions. You know how to 探价, right? Anyway, cheers to you
Yeah.
guys. And
Cheers,
all you
cheers.
friends at home, if you have any questions about vending machine or anything that we're talking about, feel free to drop in the comment section. We will answer your questions. But yes, back to Ivan.
I think I'm known to be a very happy-go-lucky kind of person. You know, I'm very approachable. So one thing that helped is that in my opinion, I think I'm well liked in my company. So, and I managed to motivate them enough to like, I mean, you got nothing to do, right? Come, let's do this together, right? Especially the operations and
But it must have been skill sets that you learned from being in the Air Force, man. SA has taught you well.
I agree. Actually, even the degree, even they say university and degree is useless, or rather engineering, because basically I go into a segment where it's not engineering. But I think it's the thought process that they teach you in university and in government sector. You always try to be politically correct and all that kind of stuff. So,
and look where there got you. Well done.
Shout out to the engineering community in Singapore. I know they're trying very hard to recruit more engineers. So don't sell engineering, sell engineering thinking. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Otherwise, the faculty have to close down.
Yeah, they're pushing very hard. The faculty is trying to grow. Yes. So based on your good laurels that you have made friends with all these people at work, they trust you. They want to make this work together with you. And then you push through, right? But why, amidst all these different choices, you guys chose vending machines? It's not something traditionally you have done. Yes, you guys dabbled in technology and all that, but then why vending machines?
Good question, actually. Okay, so one of our competitor, Sample Store, they are known to give samples through mail.
Mail.
But mail. So there is no interaction at all. But I feel that vending machine is a unique position where, together with technology, it can pivot from online to offline to online very easily. Exactly what we are doing. So the people are offline, they are shopping in the supermarket, which is the shift to online grocery shopping is not that fast, right? So there are definitely still people rushing to the supermarket to get their stuff, especially doing panic buy. So there's an offline demand, right? While in the app is online, so we can still capture the audience over there as well. So it's a very good spread of people that we can capture. So vending machine, even though it leads to a high operating cost, the rental, the physical merchandising to top up the machine, all these is a huge cost. But I think we still see the need for an offline physical touch. Yeah.
Okay. So wait, give me. I think for a lot of people, maybe they're not following. In terms of like, what is the business exactly? What do you guys do? What is the model? Right. Maybe you can just kind of fill us in on that part. Then we can have a interesting discussion on this.
Okay, so Auntie Sam, it's a vending machine around Singapore, where basically if you have a Singapore registered handphone number, you can sign up an account with us. Once you have an account, one token will be given to you free every 7 days. Okay, and then there are samples in the machine, up to 4 to 6 different samples in the machine for you to vend every week. The idea here is that one single product, you only can take it once every 30 days. So you won't have a case where I have 10 Maggie over there, this one person with his one account just take that 10 Maggie. Yeah, even though I'm sure Singaporeans will love that. Yeah, but my marketers won't.
Yes. What is the name of the app again? What's the name of the app?
AuntiSam.sg.
AuntiSam.sg. I'm gonna download it now.
And one token gives you one product that you can get. There's every product is one token. It's not like some of the bigger products that worth more actually 2 or 3 tokens.
Good question. So the products in the samples are worth from 0 to 3 to 4 tokens.
Got 0 token also. So free essentially it's totally free.
Essentially free. So the mindset here is very simple. If you have 1 token today, you see a product that is 0 token, you're sure going to take it because it's free anyway. But from the marketer point of view is that I don't care who is the consumer, just take it, right? So things like Housebook Zero, they want mass brand awareness now is 0 tokens. So even if you're Malay, you just take it because it's free, and I'll just give to my Chinese friend who might like beer. Yeah, or if there's a baby product there, I don't have a baby, I'm just going to take it and give it to my friend who has a baby. But they get this indirect awareness. But if it's one token, you think a bit more, you'd be like, I don't have a baby, I'm not going to take this baby product, I'll take something else.
Right.
Yeah. Then when it's 3 tokens, because you are able to buy tokens from our store, very, very, very cheap. It's like 1 token is 20 cents, if I'm not wrong. So if there's something that's 3 token, you spend 40 cents to take something that might be worth $5 to $6. Yeah. So these people are, they're definitely more interested. If it's bird nest, for example, I don't mind buying bird nest. I love bird nest. I want to try.
Wait, got bird nest sample?
Not yet. But shout out to the bird nest people.
Yeah. I try to log in now. I want to see got bird nest sample. Okay, yes.
I would think I take for you, okay, Reggie. I take
Yeah.
No problem.
We should have a sample gathering. But yes. Continue, guys.
Not yet. Yeah. So the few products that were 3 samples were, I think, salmon skin, fried salmon skin, mala salmon skin. Yeah. So I think that product is worth $3 to $5. So it was placed at 3 tokens for people to really get it. Yeah. So the whole idea of Auntie Sam then is about the post outreach. Samples. When you see an auntie, you take the sample, you go, you never see the auntie before again. Yeah. But for Auntie Sam, once you take the sample, I know who took it, and I'm able to reach you again, either through EDM or SMS. Yeah. So usually what I do for my clients is that after I've dispensed X amount of samples, I will gather all the report and share with them that, okay, there's how many % of females that are getting, what's the majority age group that is getting it. Yeah.
Location, do they know location data?
Yeah. I break down the location for them as well, the date where they've taken it and the time that they've taken it. So all these can then go back to how they plan their marketing campaign. If they initially thought that, this is a male product, every male is going to go for it, but they realized that, hey, actually a lot of females are taking it. So do we want to change our packaging, from blue to pink or whatnot? Yeah. Or in the future when they want to deploy promoters, which location should I spend the money on the promoters? And what timing should the people be? Because that these are the people who are at that location and taking at that time.
Shit, you guys are off to a big thing, man. This is like offline data. It's so hard to get.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us more about like the business and in vending machine. So that is the whole like your business model, right? Which is extremely interesting because I'm essentially going to like get free stuff from this vending machine, and then you're not charging me anything. If I want more, I pay a little bit more, and your advertisers are not charging you also because they just want to give out free samples. So then the business model, we can come back to it, but I think the core of it, there is an infrastructure cost in this business, and I think a lot of people entertain this idea of setting up vending machines, right? Emulating Japan or whatnot. So what is the infrastructure cost of setting up vending machines? What is the process like? Tell us all the shit in this process.
Yeah. So getting the machines, I think with technology now is very simple. You can get one from China, you can get one from US, you can get one from Japan, or you can even get one from a local vendor. But so the cost of the machine is simple. Is how do we convert?
Is that a ballpark?
5 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So it's how do we convert this offline to online? So it has to have an interface, right? So I think a bulk of the cost will go into creating that infrastructure, the software, the data management, of such. I would say another 40 to 50. Yeah.
So that's a UI, the multi-touch point, different interface kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And another consideration is if it's going to be offline, then you need people to top it up. Yeah. So
when you guys negotiate with landlords, okay, where to put your machine, what is the cost like, and all that, can you give? Because I entertained this idea of setting up a instant noodle vending machine before. Okay, maybe 5 years ago, instant noodles here very boring. There are all these instant noodles everywhere. Let's just set up a vending machine and just sell instant noodles. So I did entertain this idea for a period of time. All right, so I think I had a little bit of experience talking to landlords and all this kind of thing. So I want to hear like what is the experience for you guys?
Mine is really, really very interesting. So within the 3 months of the prep work, one of my role was to find the clients and to find the location. So because I'm quite familiar with the supermarket scene, so I know which are the more popular one. I know the leaders around there, so I can speak to them. So I went to, I think, almost 10 to 20 different places to look for them to find the right spot, and there's only one person who entertained me. Yeah, we're crazy because like, why Auntie Sam? Don't disturb me. My supermarket is very busy now.
They were firefighting also at that point in time.
Yeah.
So they were also going through things. Not that business was bad, but they were going wild with their own stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, they were. So there's this guy who entertained me. So Ang Mo Kio Hub was our very first home. Yeah. And I think
home of the aunties. Home of the aunties.
Ang Mo Kio Hub. And uncles. Yeah. So he floated the idea to his boss and his boss. So even to this project was actually in the lights of fair price management, higher management. Because I think I believe one of their key pillars is innovation as well, and how can they use innovation to offload certain things in the supermarket. Yeah, mainly the redemption segment. The customer service counter, they have 2 to 3 packs every day. They're just to facilitate redemption. Yeah, and I think one of the angle was that, okay, let us put your machine there, see how are people receptive to it. Are they afraid that, wow, technology, uncle and auntie sure don't know how to use one, right? So they hosted us for free for the first 2 to 3 months.
Nice.
And yeah, and then that was the story I have for finding my very first location. Then after that, for growth, is all about paying money, because no one else want to give me for free anymore.
So they were the only ones that gave you guys the location for free for you to pilot and test it out.
Yeah. So they are really the one that they're one of the key reasons why I can kickstart. Not even succeed, but kickstart.
Nice. Shout out to Ang Mo Kio NTUC guys.
Yeah.
Very big NTUC at the basement.
Hopefully you're still going there rent free at Ang Mo Kio Hub.
Unfortunately, no. That's the reason why I moved to level 3.
Okay.
They realized that my business model and their business model is no longer the same.
So, can you? Sorry, can you share with us before that, right? Share with us the progression, right? From first week, second week, 4 weeks. How did that grow or accelerate? Was it progressive? Was it exponential? I'd be very keen to know that.
I can remember the very first day the Auntie Sam kickoff, like it was yesterday, really. So, like I said, it was a very tight timeline, and our timeline to them was that, okay, we'll do it NDP. Post NDP. So 9th August last year, it was a Sunday. So Monday was a public holiday. So Monday was our first day of launch of Auntie Sam. So we were there to set up the night before and whatnot. I have really no idea what to expect, because this is the first time we are dabbling with B2C. All the time our business will B2B. We don't know how customers will react. We don't know how to do marketing. So we actually had a header board that says, "Don't say bojo, free samples here." Yeah,
that's like a playbook out of the Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Right. Virgin Airways. Okay.
Free samples here. So we put it up. Of course, when we first started, a lot of people were asking, what is it? But my whole team, all 5 of them, were there at the start just to guide people through the sign-up process, the vending process. And oh my god, it's crazy. In the first hour, the line was snaking long, to the point where the SDA came and like, what the fuck is this? Sorry.
Go ahead.
They gathered at the corner. They gathered at the corner, take picture, like asking, what is this? Why is there a crowd gathering here?
Your badge now. Where is your badge?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they eventually, after 30 minutes, I think they strategized a plan, and they came to speak to me, and I wasn't too defensive, because I know that it's not an event. I'm not out to get a crowd. No, but I did not have the safe distancing measure in place, because I have no idea. that was my last consideration where I'm going to launch my thing and safe distancing measure, right? So he told me, okay, hey, I'm not here to spoil your party, but he's super good. So until now, we are still friends and we are still talking. So he came down and said that, hey, we're not here to spoil your party. We don't want to shut this thing down, but you need to at least manage the crowd. So, so I got tape to tape the Ang Mo Kio floor, and I hired one person just to be the safe distancing ambassador. So I set up queue posts to make sure along the way that there are guides already. So all this is just on the ball,
Yeah. Hey, that one very easy, ma. Your business is HR, right? Just one phone call away only. Send somebody down now.
Yeah. Everyone looking for a job anyway.
Ask some auntie to do it. But yeah, okay. So that was the first day only, right? First day already so wild.
Yeah, okay. It was wild. And so if you've been to Ang Mo Kio, I mean, you guys stay near Ang Mo Kio, right? So you know the atrium area that used to be for events is now empty. So basically, my line snakes from the customer service counter that side. It will go to the last pillar all the way to that Mr. Bean, is it? There's this bin and all the way to the escalator.
So there were like 100 people in the queue, or
I think more than that, dude.
I think with the safe distancing measure, it will become around 80. But chaos hit when it's time for top up, when the machine is empty, right? I gotta stop people from going. I gotta start topping up for the very first time. The snake became longer. You know how last time you play Nokia or snake, right? Last time you can go straight, right? Now I do zigzag. And that's basically what happened.
Bring in the queue poles.
Yeah, the FairPrice people also are shocked. Wow, why is there such a queue? Yeah, so
go ahead.
I think by the first month, because it was a trial project, so I told him, just give me the space for 1 month. I just need to see how people react to it, right? And after the 1 month, I think we got maybe 1,000 or 2,000 signups, which I have nothing to peg against. So to me, that was like, okay, hooray, right? And then we were gone for 1 month to gather more ammunitions, reach out to more clients to get them to come on board. And that's where when once a while and I go and visit the area, the customer service counter is like, hey, when is he coming back? A lot of people asking me. I need an answer for them. So people love free stuff, lah.
Yes. So, okay, so a few things, right? You guys give samples for a lot of companies. I mean, I was in your app, right? I see all your participating vendors and all those kind of stuff, right? How do you get them on? Like, how do you guys talk to them? How do you align your interests with them? Because you're a pet project, right? Essentially, you are playing around with things, and it's a pilot. You have one machine at Ang Mo Kio Hub. Yes, there's very long lines, but you're testing. But these are big brands, right? A lot of very big FMCG brands. How do you get them to do this with you?
I think being in a market long enough is a definite advantage. I know them, and I also understand that usually promotional activities happens when they have a batch of stocks that are expiring. Yes, and that's where they leverage that chance to send promoters just to give samples. So I can leverage on that to know that you cannot give samples now. So give it to me. Anyway, at that time I'm not charging anything. It's like sometimes I even go and collect from them. Hey, thank you very much. So but now at this point, our unique angle to them is really one is the post sampling engagement and data play. Data is really a strong thing for them, and brand awareness visually also. Then this is basically the and I can post the rate of outreach that I can do in a month. So just a idea for you is typically a supermarket promoter in 8 hours in a supermarket, the outreach is around 200 packs per day. Give or take, plus minus, I think 50 lah. Conversion rate is around 20 to 30%. Is considered a very good rate already. So that's the numbers. For me, I can reach up to 10,000 people a month just by being there, and of course doing the top up. And the cost to them is 50 cents per reach. I don't count the cost of samples because that differs. But for me, our rate to them is just 50 cents. So if my machine spoil, if my marketing is not done properly, my machine is in a very ulu place where people don't know, at the end of the day, I only give out 2,000 pieces. All I charge you is $1,000. There's no sunk cost compared to a promoter. If I deploy a promoter there and the promoter, somehow late, for sick, or just not in the mood to do their job, you're basically, it's a sunk cost to them. But for me, it's a win-win. You give me, I'll do my best to do the outreach for you.
But essentially the cost is on you guys, right? You guys have to bear the ongoing infrastructure costs. Right. So I think I want to find out a little bit more from one machine. How do you guys expand into all these other locations and all? How do you decide where are your next few locations to go into? What was the arrangement with them and all that? I think that will be extremely interesting for all our friends that are thinking of doing some vending machine kind of thing.
It's a very interesting battle, actually. My position, of course, I was in charge of getting samples, and I understand the rate of samples going out. So while I'm practically the sole person trying to find samples at that time, my boss was very aggressive. He's like, no. One machine is not enough. We need 100 by next year. 100. In my head, I'm like, how am I going to find? At the time, it was 500 samples a month, right? So per month per machine. So now I'm at the point where I'm asking 8,000 samples from each SKU. Now, if it's 100, then it's going to be times 4, it's 32,000 samples. In my head, I was like, maybe if that's possible. My boss was saying, they got samples, it's so cheap for them, just get it. But as I be more bold, and last time I used to ask 500 samples. Everyone was like, oh, okay, take. Now I'm asking 8,000. They're like, huh? 8,000? What? How do I get 8,000 samples for you?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where I told them, hey, I think we need to slow down. Our revenue generation do not come with it's not an exponential increase. Yeah. It's about, I believe it's about time in market. Yeah.
So how do you open up new machines then? Like where are how do you decide on where to open? What are the locations and all those? Because you guys have machines all around Singapore. Right?
So the initial consideration was because Ang Mo Kio FairPrice is we are grateful for them. So we told them, okay, all our next few machines all going to be fair prices. So they did link us up with the other different groups. So there are finance, there are hyper, and there's the normal one. They link us all to everyone, and I just go down to see if there's proper place for us to put. So that's our initial growth. It's all about supermarket, but we realized that one, their rent is really very expensive.
How much are they charging you? PSF.
PSF, I'm not sure, but it ranges from 800 to 2,000 a month.
Okay, just to put that machine inside their store.
Yes.
Okay, 800 to 2,000. Okay.
Wow, the PSF is very high. If it's 2,000.
Your machine how big only?
Your machine is like what?
Like 2 fridge only.
2 by 2 at most. 2 by 1. 2 by 1.
I think it's 2.4.
Yeah.
No.
Your PSF is about is a north of 100. North 100 to 200, 100 to 200 PSF. Yeah, exactly the problem with vending machine business. But you continue. Okay.
Yeah. So then our next option is like, okay, now let's find the malls that have that fair prices. So we look for the malls. But the thing that I don't really like about that is that they treat us as a vending machine. I mean, rightfully so. But so we're tucked at the corner of the mall where people don't know about it. So I was very scared of our very first venture into the shopping mall because I was very afraid that no one would know about it. So that's where we also changed our interface of the app to show the place where we're at, level 1 beside which location, so that people who are integrated with the app, they know that I'm at Hidden Mall, there's a Hidden Mall. Where is it in Hidden Mall?
Oh my God, you guys can be like vending machine anchor merchant. That would be so cool. Like every mall there's an anchor merchant, right? Like the ones at the front door that will pull crowd. Right, and then you guys, and then I know what you're saying. A lot of malls, they try to do this vending machine thing, but they do it very half-heartedly. They put you at this weird little corner, where they have the direct electric socket, and then one row of random drinks machines down there. No vibe, no feel, nothing. It's a very side thing that they're trying to do. They act they high tech, but ain't no shit's happening. Ain't no shit's happening that way. But hey, maybe you guys will be the anchor merchant of the vending machine corner, right? Yeah, you never know. You bring in crowd. Mm-hmm.
So I went to this shopping mall. I can't remember which mall is it. I remember it was at the north, where the lobby, level 1 lobby, right? They have a NLB book vending machine. Have you seen that before?
I've seen that very big one.
Yeah, very big one.
Very
Smack
big.
in the middle of the lobby of the atrium. I was like, wow, why can't I
It's
be
like
like
a
them?
carousel. Yes.
Yeah. So I took a picture of that and I tried to explain to them. I said that, hey, I'm a crowd puller, man. Don't put me at the corner. No, but I didn't have the numbers to back me up then. But I said this is definitely a crowd puller. It's free stuff. Free stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still thrown to the corner of every mall now, right now. But it's I think it's okay. People getting the idea of it. Once they know that, they see something that is in a good area, they learn about Auntie Sam. Then once they go back to their residential area, they know that there's one nearby there. They will just automatically hit there. Yeah. So we are surviving that way still.
Okay. So what is the rental difference then if you go direct to the malls?
Wow, the rental difference can be really low, as low as 300. Yeah. The max
is very low.
Yeah, the max I pay is maybe 400 to 500. The most expensive one. Yeah. I mean, talking about growth is that last time I used to be begging people to, hey, let me in at a cheap rate. Now I'm lucky and very blessed to have tenants coming to me and say, hey, do you want to put a machine here? We can support you by having a very low rate at the start. Yeah. So yeah, we are very happy to just go and support, of course.
Okay.
Because it's a win-win anyway.
Yeah. So if in that sense you guys are scaling your ecosystem, you're scaling your network. In this process, what are the things that you guys face that a lot of people will not be able to tell? Like what other shit that you see?
The number one shit that I go through is how do I monetize this free sample, right? So I used to, when I was doing all my projection, it's all about earning. Last time it used to be a subscription model for the SAMPs, the customers, we call them SAMPs. It used to be a subscription model. Very, very Singaporean. It's Bojo, Shiok, and Atas. Yeah, so Bojo, you get 1 sample every 7 days. Shiok, you get 3 samples every 7 days. And Atas means you can take everything you want in one time. One visit, you just take everything. Yeah, but we scrapped that. So that used to be one of our revenue generator because we have not enough samples to justify the Shiok and Atas paying that premium membership. So then next is, okay, marketers, they definitely pay me to get the outreach. But because generally it's still quite new and it's very hard for marketers to justify ROI, right? I have a promoter there, I give the sample and I visually see that he took the product, that's a conversion for me. But for Auntie Sam, how we track conversion is that you upload the receipt of the sample of the item that you bought after you took the sample is considered conversion. So while it takes time for people to, because it's a full packet, they eat it. If they like it, they go and buy it. They might not remember that, hey, I need to upload that receipt. So if they don't upload the receipt, it's not conversion.
No, but you guys, I just signed up for your app, right? You have my phone number, you have my email address, you even have my location, and you have my postal code and all, right? So you have a lot of my information, and I just gave it to you so that I can get free stuff, lah. Right? So I gave you all the information. If a marketer runs campaign to you guys, isn't it gonna be like you can give them all these emails and contact and all that, and then they could run email pushes. They don't need to.
There's a very small. There's a very small cost to them only, and the efficiency is it can't be tracked. It can't be tracked as well, because when you do email, you're doing an online conversion. You need an online store. You need probably a promotion to track these purchases. That
you need a landing page, right, to track that.
Correct. Yeah. So while that is a good starting point to spread the awareness of that campaign that you're doing, it's hard to beat the out-of-home media or the online platform, right? But getting there. So our next step is actually to have SingPass integration. Yeah. So because we used to distribute alcohol, like real alcohol, and one of the thing we have to do is to verify that you're above 18. So we ask for a selfie and we ask for a photo of your IC. After
Are
it's
you
done,
allowed? What is the process to go through to actually use SingPass as a verification? I thought you need to be like a government agency to be able to do that.
No, you don't. You don't have to. There is a process that you have to go through. Basically, you share why you need this information, what are the information you need, and what's the reason why you need those particular information. So actually, every time you integrate your account to your SingPass account to an external party, right, they will say that they will be receiving this information. Do you accept or not?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you don't have to
there's
be a
a-
government agency.
learn something new today.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a lot of information coming just from
Yeah,
talking to
man.
you. Just
Yeah.
talking to you about this. Okay, but
Yes.
okay, wait. I want to get a bit of clarity on the marketers side. You mean you mean all these marketers, they're not interested to get their emails and all these, and if you think about it, right, you can directly just push through Shopee, right? Are you guys doing integration with Shopee? Because as a product, let's say I'm Milo, right? I see Milo as one of your promoter, right? Then I don't know why Milo need to promote anymore, lah. But okay, let's say I'm Milo and I give out Milo free sample because it's ending, right? And then I got all these people that get free sample, and then I got the whole email list of whoever that got free sample of Milo. Why can't as Milo as a company, right? I just send out email pushes to all of them and say head to Shopee for a 1-for-1 Milo promotion today, right? And then they just buy from Shopee, and then you can track ROI there directly, right? No need to physically go to a store, multi-tier consumer experience, so complex.
They can, but because I have been speaking to all these marketers also, comparing us and to the traditional media, yes, they like the post-sampling outreach, but there's something that they cannot justify to their bosses as easily is really ROI. Really, the online reach, the post-sampling reach is just awareness. The amount of people that click like to Shopee to get it is not that high yet, right? They still prefer to go down to the shop to get a carton of Milo. Right.
Maybe that's just the audience, right? It's just the demographic, probably, or possibly with the sort of products that you have.
It's possible. Maybe next time if I do rice, then people will want their rice delivered to them.
Yeah. You send them the link. You send them this link today and tell them that we're having this discussion, and I think that is extremely important. Okay, so if that's the current dilemma with your business model, right? That means you guys are not profitable. Okay, on the front end, you look exciting, and you're all this marketing sounds like every other business that always make themselves look very sweet, right?
Yeah.
No, but on the back, you're not profitable. So how are you as a company, or how are you motivating the core people in your team, or the entrepreneur, the leader in the company, to support you continuously as things keep rolling down? Because now it's not as locked down as before. You can have promoters, the business is back. So then you have this side business that you guys did, right? Like high-tech business during the lockdown, you want to pivot, and it's not making money. You see potential, yes, there's a potential business here, but it's bleeding. How do you continue to get support?
I think for one is that we have government support from salaries. So that do help. So we are also applying grants for the tech implementation. So hopefully government will support that as well to offset some of that. But
shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So, but we believe in the future data play. We believe that at this stage is more of a teething issue. As more, and that's why I feel there's no rush to get to 100 machines. We need the sufficient presence to make sure that every marketers out there know that Auntie Sam is one option for you. Yeah, and I think also now that we are pivoting a lot to no longer just, hey, this is 50 cents per sample, 50 cents per sample, but we are pivoting to giving other kind of services. So for example, Auntie Sam, FMCG have always been the bottom. They call it at the bottom of the execution. They're done with all their campaign planning, and then now they need promoter. They look for promoter agency. But with Auntie Sam now, we are moving ourselves up the value chain. Right, we are now able to discuss with you campaign. How do we run competition with Auntie Sam? Take the sample, post it on your social media, why you like to have this product, and then you stand to win prizes from Auntie Sam. All this just brings you up the value chain, and hopefully
I win 1 year worth of Colgate. 1 year worth of Colgate for free, right?
Yeah, possible. So now we're at a stage where we are adding on this value chain, every other services to hopefully bring us up the value chain. So while Auntie Sam is not profitable now, Auntie Sam is a great door opener to my other services. Right? I have a co-lead to talk about Auntie Sam. At the end of the day, you want promoter? Hey, I have promoters. You need temp staffing, you need full-time placement, I have. It's a great door opener now. And because of Auntie Sam, we managed to get a few other clients that does promoter, so it's a compliment.
And right now is very confined to non-perishable items, right? I know they have expiry date, but still considered non-perishable. And my mom used to be a promoter in, I think, NTUC or something, for air pork, right? So perishable item. Come and buy this air pork. She will fry the pork and try this with the soy sauce, or people say, wow, very nice. Then they will buy, right? So is there any plans to move into perishable sort of items? I'm sure that's a huge market that you can work on as well, right? Even if it's frozen stuff.
Yeah, so I mean there is a chance that by the time, I mean, at the rate that we are venting, I'm very sure if the supply chain portion can be solved, we can get it out within that time. But not frozen, because our machine cannot handle frozen. If not, I would love to have ice cream in my vending machine.
Not yet. If you think about it, I think one big problem you guys are now getting center stage, right? Is your machine look like every other machine. The NLB machine, right, looks like a carousel, right? It looks like some like carnival is happening, and they can put it right smack in the middle, of the mall because it looks very nice, right? So if you guys can do something like that, then hey, the day is here, man. Like people are more than happy to give you the center spot, and then you can push ice creams.
Yeah, but talking about perishable, like my machine cook whipping out a meal to give us samples. Maybe not.
That'll be cool. No, not whipping out a meal, but I don't know how it's going to be done, but just a curious thought. Yeah.
So then how is so now lockdown is not really a lockdown anymore, right? We are relatively open already. People are back to the supermarket. How are you guys allocating resources then in this situation? This pivot is is a side thing now, or is it still a double down, or like there are more things happening now, right? So how are you guys allocating your resources?
So actually, there's a mini lockdown now where promoters are still not encouraged to work. Yeah. So the resources is my sales team specifically is 50-50, with Auntie Sam being one of the main door opener opportunity, right? So 50% of it is spent on Auntie Sam, and 50% of it is spent in promoter/training courses. Yeah. So but we rely a lot on the natural marketing where people write in to inquire about our service. So that's actually a very good sign for me that things are picking up. People are writing in more than I am getting response from the cold emails.
Because I think the core of my question is, we always talk about entrepreneurs pivoting, and there's all these situations ongoing, and we want to stay on top of our game, right? Always trying to innovate and do more and do more and do more. And for a lot of these traditional businesses, the government is putting a lot of money to try to get them to go high tech, trying to get them to be more tech enabled, not say become high tech, but use softwares, use new hardwares, and try to streamline certain things. And it always sounds all and well and good, in the process. But when you really go down to executing it, and then it becomes part of the company now, but then the situation is okay already, or so-called okay already. So then the previous processes are back in play, right? So then how do you decide? Like, how do you manage this thing? Like, are you guys gonna be like doing double processes now? Like you're doing more things at one go, or how is it gonna work? Has that changed?
I think my sales force generally is very used to be creative and think on their foot based on what the client needs. So like I said, we have so many other HR services, right? So even though my team specializes in the FMCG sector, they can sell any other services in the market. So Auntie Sam is then now another service that all my other sales member can sell. Yeah. So while my team specialized a lot on Auntie Sam as supermarket promoters, I still have the backing of the other sales force to push Auntie Sam as one of the options, especially if it's marketing related.
It's just another bullet in the bag, right? That you can whip out anytime, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's interesting. And by the way, if you guys have any questions about Auntie Sam vending machine, tech, FMCG, whatnot, feel free to drop in a comment and we'll pick it up. Ivan will answer us. Okay, I have an interesting question. I forgot just now. Okay, but it's about network effect, right? So like how every vending machine that you create, or every vending machine that you install, then you'll probably have more people that come and use the vending machine, right? So I want to get a little, so it will grow your community, it will grow your numbers, your daily users or your monthly users. Okay, so I want to get a little bit of idea about what is the growth like. Is it a linear growth? Every time I add one machine, I get 50 subscribers, or I get 100 subscribers, or do you see some sort of like network effect where the more you add, the number of subscribers grows at an exponential level?
I believe it's a linear effect. I didn't went to track that growth, but I believe it's a linear effect because from my first 5 machines, I realized that there can be 30 to 20% of people who sign up to a machine but don't stay near the area at all. So if you think about it, over time, as I get to that location, yes, I get the new people staying around there, but there are already existing users in that area. Yeah. So it's more of a linear growth than anything.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we're not seeing the exponential.
Yeah. But actually, back to the one of the first few questions asked about revenue, right? I think it's good to share that, like as we move forward, we realize that it's no longer as sustainable to earn from the marketeers, But there's this very deep pot of revenue that we can actually earn, but I wish I didn't think of it in the very first place, which was ads revenue. Yeah, so I think halfway through we look for advertisers to let us be. I mean, we are the publisher, right? We are the publisher, yeah. So now we are using our website as a mode of advertisement, and we realized that because I was very green, so I went to the advertisers and asked them that, okay, how's my website? How good is it? Can I have content? How much can I earn from advertisement? So before they put their product, they told us to integrate with AdSense, and from AdSense, then you can track your online traffic. So I integrated AdSense into it, and I think 1 month later, I went to her and I said, hey, so what's the metrics that you're tracking? How do I know if I pass or not? Right? So they were telling me, I think unique visitors or monthly impression. I can't remember what was it, but basically he told me that we are looking for people who have at least 500,000 of that matrix. I can't remember what. So I went to the page and I looked and I was like, oh, 400,000. Oh no, I'm short, right? But then I realized that it was on the per 7 days. So when I changed it to 31 days, it was like over 1 million. So then I was gleaming with joy, and I say, hey, so do I qualify to be one of your platform to be advertisers? So they integrated us in, and I think the revenue from there is sweet. Like, so from there we pivoted again to how do we bring people to the app even when they're not in front of the machine, right? So that's why places like Shopee, they have so many games right now. It's just to bring you back to the app. Even though you're no mood for shopping, they ask you to plant a seed, water the plant, feed the cat. Yeah, right. All these things are just to get you back to the app, just for the ad revenue, right? So we do things like daily check-in now, so that even when you're traveling, you're not in front of the machine. I just go to Auntie Sam, do a daily check-in. Yeah. And
what's the CPM like? What's the CPM? Cost per impression. Advertisers are paying you.
Oh, I think not highly. Let me take a look.
It's very sector specific. So I'm just curious, like, what is the FMCG CPM rates? I know this is very technical, but we are in the advertising space. So I'm very curious, like what are they paying you guys?
Okay, so CPM.
If you don't have all top of your head, it's fine, you don't need to search specifically.
Is it CPC? Is it the same thing?
Cost per click, okay.
It's around 55 cents.
55 cents, okay.
Yeah, okay. Not a lot. But so it was page view. The matrix they were tracking us was page view, and it's all about how do I increase this number now to sustain the ad. So ideally, this reached a point where I no longer have to ask my clients to pay. I no longer have to ask my samples to pay. It's all about just enjoy these samples. Like I said, Facebook like to say, right, if the product is free, you're the product. So how do I then come up with a friendly ecosystem where it's a good balance that the marketer don't feel that it's painful, that I don't have to fork out money to justify to my boss to say that, hey, forget about ROI, this thing is free. You get free brand awareness, you get free advertisement, you get free post sampling outreach. Yeah.
Interesting how you guys within a crisis, lockdown, go into vending machine and then scale your vending machine and then realize that the matrices don't work and then go into ads. This whole process it's like it's like a year odd, transiting and actively pivoting, which is the essence of the show, right? And I want to hear the first-hand recount of this journey in a sense of like, how do you feel along this way? How do you stay sane, right? How do you not go crazy? There's so many things ongoing. It's not easy lah.
And it's just 5 of you, right? The team is small.
Oh, now we have our own dedicated team because their job resumed and they have their own busy life. But I'm still stuck in this fairy tale. So it's we have a team or a dedicated team is 2 programmers, 2 marketers, and the rest are just Salesforce that is in my own sales team.
Yeah. But what was your experience? Like your first-hand experience pivoting? Is confirm a lot of like knocking into the wall and doors slamming at you and all those kind of things, right? So as an entrepreneur, I think this is not a foreign experience, but to go into a new venture during a lockdown and then pivoting all the way until getting to where you are and convincing this whole process and trying to make it work, right? How was that for you?
I think roller coaster is a very apt term to use because first you're anxious, and when you hit there you see the crowd, you're excited, this thing is going well, samples are going out, the demographic of people are old people are loving it because of, thank God for safe entry, right? So people are embracing this technology. Then you reach to a point where marketers are not paying me. Why are they not paying me? So I go down to the ground and understand what are the metrics that they have to hit. So I tailor my service to that also. So now I show them impressions. I show them generally what I show them what's the impressions you get. So hopefully this is the ROI for them, especially as brand marketers. No longer about sales conversion anymore, but more of impressions. So I tailor to try to find the right fit. And while I cannot just solely depend on one source of revenue, right? So I then pivot again to look at other source of revenue, and also the lowest point would be that my finance come to me and say, hey, these are your books for the past 6 months and it's so red. And, some greens in terms of revenue, the revenue is growing, that's good, but still very red. So that is when I really think to myself, how long do I really have? Yes, we believe in it, but if it doesn't make monetary sense, then we got to do something about it. And so that's where I really expand the services, understand my customers, what do they really want, not the samples, the free samples, that's all they want, right? And yeah, so if ads is going to be the way, then how do I generate more interest in?
Wait, so your head was on the line essentially when the finance come and tell you, hey, this is very red, very jalat, it's not gonna work. All right. How do you
it's not to that point. It's we work even closer to let me understand that aspect. And which is personal growth for me as well. Right. I learn the more monetary aspect in the business.
I think being in the hot seat definitely helps, accelerate that. And I guess, being in the hot seat or in the boiling soup actually gets you to ideate and come up with more things to try to make the business succeed.
Yeah. Can you imagine from an Air Force engineer, something that has a Tian Fan one? Now I'm here where I think, this thing is so red. It's something that I've never seen before.
Will you go back? Will you go back
to the Air Force?
Tian Fan one, yes.
No. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of joy in facing this challenge, in coming out on top. In small wins, small wins. We celebrate small wins. There are a lot of joy, and the people with me are as very competent as well. So fighting through this battle is something that Tianfan one can't really give you.
Okay. I think that's amazing. Like, your story is amazing. When I first heard it, I was like, yeah, we must feature this day someday. Okay, and I'm happy during this lockdown we managed to talk to you. So I think I would definitely consider you as an entrepreneur. I know some people will be like, you're not an entrepreneur, you must start your own thing, blah 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 blah. But I do think that you're an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna give you some weird names like entrepreneur, whateverpreneur. Okay, it's like no weird names, but I think that essence is there. And for everyone else, so I think we've come to an hour, and that if there are no other questions, I want to sum it up. Okay, so for everyone that wants to consider being an entrepreneur or try to initiate some sort of project within their organization that they know will get a lot of hits and all, right? What are some advice you have for them?
Wow, very, very, very good question. I think I think there are two aspects that have to be considered. One is that you need a leader that is open for such people, for such ideas. My leader is a bit jumps on opportunities. When during the first lockdown, where everything was going slow, everyone is going saving cash to survive this lockdown. He was actually spending to increase our other services. Now we have security guards, we have cleaning services, we have EV courses. We now teach EV in our class, right? Because we are going towards the EV segment. So we have all this. So my competitors are basically hyper-dating. No, if your boss is that kind, then don't bother. So if your boss is daring enough to explore challenges, and you have an idea, the number one sin is to not open your mouth, is to not even daring to ask. Yeah. So one very common thing in the working world is you hear that people jump job very, very frequently, right? And the number one complaint is that I'm not paid enough. But they have never, most of them don't even ask for pay raise, right? And I believe everyone, if the company culture is good, it's a very open, centric kind of colleagues and leaders. You just have to ask and explore the idea together. Of course, have your numbers ready, have the business model ready. If you can do some market sensing, have it ready, and I'm sure you can do it out. And of course, it helps that you have connections in the right way to keep your startup cost low. Right, everything for us was very low. Like getting the site was low, getting the samples was low. All this, I'm very sure, helped with the initial propulsion. Yeah. So open your mouth and ask.
Good core advice. And I think I want to add this last line, that actually data has shown that one of the highest success rates of entrepreneur is at 45. Okay, it's not like young entrepreneurs, and all this kind. Actually, most of the highest hit rate, most successful entrepreneurs occur at 45. And exactly like what you said, you have the skill sets, you have the connections, you've probably been in the industry for a while, you know a lot of people. So when you spin out to do something, you can leverage and you can have the support, right? So not saying that young people shouldn't start a business, but keep doing if that is what you believe, keep trying if that is what you think there is, just don't pound the same wall, right? And recognize that hit rate, the highest success rate actually comes later. So don't give up as things go along.
And I think you shouldn't do it alone. Leverage is one that we should consider.
Definitely. We have a lot of discussion about how to pick team and all that.
And
all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot ongoing. Alex, you got something to add?
I think that, with what Ivan said, leverage definitely important, and leverage will come along the way. You don't actually have to look for leverage before you can actually start. If you have something and you need to start, then you can just start it. You don't have to wait for the leverage to come before you start. And just to add to everything that everyone has been saying, I think that having that entrepreneurial spirit need not necessarily mean that you must bootstrap and start something on your own, right? Like what Ivan has, he has that entrepreneurial spirit, but he's in a space that has allowed him to be able to start something almost on his own without his own capital. But he's doing everything, treating it like it is his own. And definitely being in a company with the right leadership that allows for that is important. But if you've got the entrepreneurial spirit and you feel that you don't want to bootstrap, you don't want to go and crowdfund, or you don't want to go and seed fund, then look for the right leadership in the company to be able to, for you to pitch whatever idea that you have. Great advice. Thanks, Ivan.
No worries.
Yeah,
I'm in the HR sector.
So yes, good stuff. I think we had a great time. Thank you all for tuning in with us, and have a great drink. It's a great Friday. Just go and hang out. I know you're locked down, but do what you need to do. Netflix and chill. Do all this kind of stuff. But if you want more entrepreneur-related content, head over to our YouTube channel, The Financial Coconut. We have an entrepreneurship series on our Entrepreneurshit show ongoing, and we have, I think, 2 or 3 more episodes before season 1 ends. We are deciding whether to do season 2. So give me some power, give me some leverage, like, follow, subscribe, so that I can convince the team that there is a need for season 2. Okay, and then let's see how this goes. Next week, I have a great friend of mine, Simon. They are building rockets. Okay, say they are building space shuttles. Technically rockets. Okay, propellant. There are multiple components in this spaceship sector, and he's gonna come on to talk about the space. What do they go through? What is the sector of the space? Yes, pun intended. What are they going through? And maybe they will be the company that's gonna launch rockets out of some random island on Singapore. You never know. Yeah, so that's the fun part. We're gonna do that next week, and the following week we're gonna have a great friend of mine that set up a whole, photography agency, digital marketing team in Vietnam, right? So something that sounds extremely boring here, and he didn't get very big success here, but he took the same thing that he did, taking photos, and went to Vietnam and is making a killing there now, right? So, great entrepreneurs and all these small little things that are happening. It's not all about the big stories. I think we have a lot of interesting shit stories and inspiring stuff that it's coming your way. So stay tuned, support the channel, right? I need leverage. Okay, so take care, guys. Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, man.
Bye.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.